As individuals, we are strong, but as a community, we are powerful.
Tell me what you need, and I'll do what I can.
Who are we? MSI. Who are we? MSI. Who are we? MSI. 3, 2, 1.
What's up, amigos? My name is ALANRUELAS. You already know, the host with the most. We are in episode numero 3, better said. And of course, we have a special guest right here. We want to introduce them because it is important to acknowledge our brothers. It's a beautiful thing. We have a brother by the name of
Matthew Vasquez.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. It is week numero 2. We're getting this rolling. And of course, what better way to start this whole episode by acknowledging how you're feeling. Tell me, Matthew, ¿cómo estás? How are you feeling, hermano? It's important to get it rolling. Like, tell me, how's your mental health?
So, as far as things going thus far in the semester, I would say that things are going relatively well. I know that I've had some hiccups here throughout the beginning of the semester so far, but nothing that I couldn't handle and take care of in order to make sure that I'm properly footed into my classes as well as into my semester when it comes to it, to come in and best prepared and ready to take on whatever comes next when it comes to my assignments, all the duties that I have when it comes to my internship that I have currently as well, and then honestly also for down the road also in the coming year.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that you're balancing, you're doing well. I've been wanting to check in and be like, hey, brother, let's go out to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I've been bathing over there by Venice, and let me tell you something, it's good for our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to us a little bit about how you de-stress? What kind of hobbies you like to practice where you're like, okay, today I'm going to be doing this. For me, it's going to the beach and going to the gym. What about yourself?
For me, when it comes to it, I do a couple of things here and there. So one big thing that I do, I like playing video games. That's one thing that a lot of people don't know that about me. I play video games a lot. I like hanging out with friends and family. I like going to concerts and a lot of different shows as well. Recently, I've been thinking about going to one of the exhibits that they have over there in LA, actually. There's a memorial on Tupac Shakur over there, so I'm gonna be thinking of taking my time to go over there and check that out. But aside from that, I mean, art galleries, the beach, hikes, honestly just stuff with people, also stuff with myself when it comes to it. I like especially seeing that football season's coming up. I love watching football. Past that, what else? Those are some of the things I like doing for the most part when it comes to it.
Football season, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Having those moments where you're just eating with family, looking over the games, having those moments where you're just cheering on. I don't know the structure of the game, but I enjoy the food, I enjoy the company. I'm pretty sure you understand the structure of the game, you enjoy the food as well.
Oh yeah, people get competitive too, trust me.
No, let me tell you, healthy boundaries. No, stay away.
Yeah.
I do soccer, baseball. Recently, we picked up Pops.
Oh, okay.
And then we play on Wednesdays, and let me tell you something, it's good to have a community and also do extracurricular activities without the competitiveness, just to de-stress.
Yeah, what I usually do when it comes to it, to de-stress in that way in particular, I have a group of my friends, and we watch the game usually at either my house or like at a bar or somewhere like that, and we just watch our favorite teams kind of play, and then just after that relax, like, because we know that for the most part during the week we're stressed out, focusing on all of our classes, all of our work when it comes to like our employment, and then after that also dealing with the day-to-day stuff that we have in our lives. And so when it comes to those hours, like, most of us aren't on our phones. For the most part, we have things to make sure that we take care of when it comes to, like, if we have to go out and buy like drinks or whatever the stuff may be, or even then buy food and whatnot, like, we all figure that out and communicate that prior to us actually sitting down, so that all that's taken care of, nobody has to stress over it, and we're all just like relaxing and focusing on one thing at a time and what we enjoy watching and what we enjoy doing, and like, being around ourselves and kind of sharing that moment. Because let's be honest, like, when we have that time, we would rather take that time to be present with those individuals over being like, how do I say it? Not present, basically. It's just like you can be present in the moment, but you could also not be there. It's like an actual thing. It's
That's
like,
the deep conversations are coming out from Brother Matthew.
yeah.
Let me ask you something. I mean, those conversations, let me tell you, they're important. To de-stress, give ourselves the time to self-care, give the time to acknowledge our feelings, whatever the case may be. Now, talk to me about what MSI means to you. How has it impacted you from these past years, you know? Tell me a little bit probably of some inside stories that you might have regarding your experience here.
So for me, when it comes to MSI, it really means brotherhood to me. Like, when I first started off here, I didn't really have a community per se. I was really just trying to maneuver things all on my own for the most part. But when I first got here to MSI, it kind of showed me that I wasn't alone, that I have people to ask questions to when I don't know something. And also that if I do need advice when it comes to something, I can go to somebody for advice. And then even then, to know I'm not also struggling alone when it comes to it, like other people around me are having similar struggles and similar issues. Like, we have horrible issues sometimes when it comes to some departments here on campus when it comes to it. And so we vent to each other about those things. And then we spend the time that we do have with each other within the space on our downtime in order to enrich ourselves in the brotherhood that we have. And honestly, it's just been from start to finish, because I'm coming up on my last year, been a fruitful like experience, to be honest with you. You get to know a lot of people here, for one. For two, you get golden opportunities that other people wouldn't otherwise have. And then beyond that, I mean, just the overall environment that you have within the space, knowing that you have it to begin with, and knowing that you have people to, you know, lean on if you need to, and also to evolve with over time. I mean, like, when it comes to us, I mean, like, when it comes to our cohort, we've seen each other grow from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior, and like every bit of our evolution from, you know, freshmen that were people didn't really know their names and were very shy, to somebody that's more outgoing and more present within certain communities and getting themselves more out there. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I see when it comes to MSI, and what I think of when it comes to MSI, and also the brotherhood when it comes to the brotherhood.
Nice. I mean, I'll elaborate on the idea of brotherhood as well. I definitely do believe in the idea of brotherhood. I embody it. I try my best to be, as Steve says, be the resource I never had. I love seeing the bright smiles, the enthusiasm, whether if it's a challenging day or whether if it's just a regular hiccup or whatever the case may be. I feel like it's a good oasis to show up at a space where you're welcome, where you're heard, and ultimately the idea of brotherhood in and of itself could look different for anybody, you know what I mean? But for me, it's to be able to sit down and just have a space, you know what I mean? Obviously, I could get more deep, but the structure is to have the conversation and embrace MSI, which for those of y'all who don't know or may not know, it's an acronym, Milk Success Initiative. And of course, we just recently tabled and we recruited a lot of individuals. I'd love to say that we have a diverse group, you know what I mean? In the sense that transfers and freshmen and people from all different walks of life. So I say that because talk to me about the area you grew up in, brother. I want to know a little bit more so that the brothers know and kind of get perspective of, you know, the area you grew up in.
So I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. So for people that don't know where that is, it's generally around USC area on the other side of the freeway. And I mean, like, in my neighborhood, it's not so much so, like, it's very heavily populated with Hispanic, Black, and basically just a melting pot of different races when it comes to it, and different ages when it comes to it. But mainly it's black and brown, if I'm gonna be quite frank with you.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to it, it's not the best suited environment to grow up in, and also to kind of foster like good outcomes in. So I would say, like, I don't know, place I grew up was just overall a different kind of environment than we're surrounded in now.
Of course.
I would say, like, it wasn't the cleanest environment, it wasn't the safest environment to be in, and I mean, like, it did help when it comes to building character and allowing individuals to just have motivation overall when it comes to adversity.
Yeah.
And it shows, like, that in itself when it comes to individuals that come from there. But yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of what I can say about where I come from. I mean, like, I do miss it though, which is kind of odd to say out loud, because it's just like sometimes, although certain things are not suited for you at your present time, and also what's your present state of mind, sometimes you feel like wanting to go back with the state of mind that you have now, and also how you are now, because you feel like you can maneuver around that environment differently, and then even then help upbring it as well. And that's something that I kind of want to do at some point. And so, like, I say these things, but it's a bittersweet thing, because if I didn't go through the things that I went through while I was there, and also didn't see all the things, and also experience all the things that I had experienced, and seen all the things I had seen, I don't think I would be who I am today, if that makes sense.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So who you are today, who are you, Matthew Vasquez? I just want to ask that because I'm a little bit curious now. Let me see, who, and one word, I guess, so we won't go in like the whole spiel, you know?
I feel like one word is enough though.
Hey, I like this. See, you reach the fullness of your potential by not limiting yourself.
I feel like one word is hard to give out for one particular person. But if I were to say a word, it would probably be resilient. Like, I've been through quite a lot to get to this point, and I mean, like, adversity is something that like everybody's gonna go through, yes, but I don't know. I feel like every individual person measures their adversities very different.
Of course.
And I feel like I've gone through a lot to get to where I am, and also to get to the point where I'm about to be, where I'm gonna have my degree soon. And honestly gonna have some normalcy a little bit. I won't be consistently like in crisis when it comes to it, in the sense of schoolwork or whatnot, depending, because I mean, like, there's some things in the works when it comes to it. I'm thinking of possibly going to grad school, looking at employment here at Fullerton as well, but also potentially looking outside of that and seeing if I can go to grad school either in the East Coast or take some time off, and then after that take the time that I need to either come up with a pathway for me that I see fit for myself, or just, you know, travel a little bit, learn a little bit more about the world and about myself and my place in it and my role in it. So
Matthew, your word is resilient. That is well suited. I mean, we recently nominated you for an award. And of course, I feel like as if I would do myself, I wouldn't do myself a favor here if I didn't express the admiration I have for Brother Matthew. We recently, we came back from Weimar, and I was able to share time with you and get to know you and see how much of a patient, hardworking, and well-connected individual you are. It's kind of hard to say that it's not easy to balance a lot of things at one time, and a lot of the brothers here know who you are, you know what I mean? You've been here since the beginning, in the sense that one cohort and then moving. And personally, I think, and I truly believe that the word resilient is what staples your signature, per se. So I just want to acknowledge that, because as you know, our brothers here, each and every one of them are resilient in whichever way they are, you know what I mean? And resilient is a good word. So I know that's not enough to encapsulate who Matthew Vasquez is, but for this question, yes. Moving forward, we could add all these other words to it because it's a beautiful thing. I like to say authentic on my behalf. Alan, authentic.
I mean, you are authentic. Your approach, and then after that.
I mean, I hope so. I hope so because we try to be real. And that's one of the things. That's one of the things. But moving forward, more about you because you're the man of the hour. I'd like to know when you are, and I usually ask this so frequently because I feel like at times it's good to hear. What makes you happy? So I'd love to know what makes you happy because sometimes when I'm hearing podcasts, I love to hear those stories because I'm like, hey, maybe I could practice that, or maybe I could listen to that, or maybe I don't know something. And I'd love to know, what makes you happy as an individual.
I mean, I feel like for me in particular, when it comes to happiness, is to have the least amount of stress put on you as possible. And sometimes the way to get to that point when you're most at peace is by taking your time and getting your space in order to do that. For me particularly, I like listening to music by myself sometimes. I like going out.
What type of music?
Oh, I listen to a lot of hip hop and rap music. But I also like EDM. I like Spanish music here and there when it comes to it. R&B here and there. But my main genres would be hip hop and rap music. Would the two main genres that I would listen to. And I mean, what I would usually do to make sure that I stay happy is do the things that I like doing, and also do the things that I feel comfortable doing at the time when it comes to it. Like the best example I can give, like if I'm on campus and I'm trying to, let's say I got a bad grade on a quiz that I ended up taking, and I'm sad. So acknowledging that for one, experiencing that, and then after that, all right, seeing what can I do in order to relieve myself of this dark cloud that's over me at the moment. It's like, all right, this is something that happened, and acknowledging it. Then after that, seeing what can I do better, and then after that, going along with coming up with the plan. Then after that, going on with the plan, and then after that, just taking the time you need to acknowledge that that's already past you, and you are now at a point where it's normalcy at this point, and just got to do better next time, and that's what you do. And when it comes to just regular happiness past that, I mean, I don't know, I don't think I'm an overly complicated person. I just try to not be in drama, try to not have anything over my head financially speaking, and try to put myself in a position to just be I don't know how to say it, not less vulnerable, but just more with who I feel most comfortable with. Because I mean, I feel like in certain spaces you can be comfortable being who you are 100%, but in other spaces you have to feel like you're on guard. For me, I like being in places where I can be whoever I want to be, and whatever I want to be.
As you should.
And that's what you do.
I'm gonna throw some lingo from Twitter. Yes, King. The idea here is pretty simple, y'all. Brother Matthew, the idea of being stress-free. Love that idea. I have another question for you.
What?
The question for you is, you know how we went to YMOC?
Yeah.
You know how we have brother-to-brother gatherings? You know how MSI provides opportunities with different, outlets to venture out to go explore? Yeah. That requires engagement, y'all.
Yeah.
So what would you say to the brothers listening? Why should they engage, or what allowed you to participate? What motivated you to participate, for instance, in YMOC, or to attend the brother-to-brother gatherings? Why is it important, and what made you go?
I feel like there's something that I've always been telling myself recently, and it's if you can let me get my phone really quick. Actually, it's something that I have as a quote. So my quote that I have down for me when it comes to it, and why I tell people to get engaged when it comes to it,
Y'all heard this.
is because there's that I have here. Let me see.
The idea, y'all,
Alright,
is to
cool.
engage, and we're about to hear an important quote.
So it's remember who you are and remember who you want to be. Remember what you do now and remember what you want to do. And I keep that in mind when it comes to networking, when it comes to my day-to-day, and when it comes to just overall experiences in life. Because in life, you're going against yourself. Nobody else is really in competition with you unless you see them as competition. And when it comes to it, if you're looking for something in particular in life, then I would say lean into it as much as you can and as much as you want to, because that's what you want to do. You're doing something, if you're doing something currently right now that you don't want to do, you're doing it because you have to do it, not because you 100% want to do it.
Of course, yeah.
And so in order for you to get to where you want to be, lean into the things that you want to do and also the places that you want to be at. In order for you to be who you want to be and also do what you want to do, in order to be happy, in order to fulfill your dreams, fulfill your goals, and fulfill your aspirations. And in that way, you'll be successful and you will know that you put yourself out there in that way.
Make some time, y'all. Make some time. It's important. I mean, I say that because we have gatherings, we have retreats, we have conventions, and it's a beautiful opportunity. One for you, one for myself, and one for the other brothers. Whether you're getting involved, whether you're just starting or you've been with us, you know, it's a beautiful thing to say. We're present.
Yeah.
We're present. We build a community. We build our tribe, and we just go do what we do best.
Yeah. And at that point, like, if nothing gets to you at that point, then it's your choice at that point to be that way. Like, at that point, like, it's one of those things where, like, you're choosing to be that person. You're choosing.
There's a saying, no? You could take the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink.
Yeah.
I hope I said that right. But the idea here is pretty simple in that aspect, you know? I mean, overall, Brother Matthew, summer is concluded. We started the fall semester.
Yeah.
We're busy individuals. You know, I've been seeing you here and there, but this semester for me is different from other semesters in the sense that it's been consistent, but now it's like game phase because I also have a deadline to graduate. You know what I mean? And part of me, like I said, the purpose of these podcast episodes is to build archives of who you are. And I say that because we need to reiterate the importance of sharing our stories. Whether it be something as simple as saying what makes you happy, share with me a quote, share with me something that you know you did over the summer, some hobbies. It's important to establish, in my opinion, because who you are is important to me. Now I say that, I tell people who I meet or within the space, because whether I interact with you, I make the most of it. We're human, of course.
Yeah.
The idea here is that we embrace who you are. At least I, ALANRUELAS, loves to hear about you every single time I see you. So best believe, amigo, that we're here and present, whatever you need, on camera, off camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're here to support you, and best believe that MSI embraces who you are.
Thank you. Honestly, that does mean a lot. And to those that are watching as well, I mean, just try to get to know us when it comes to it. I mean, it's something that you don't know what you're missing out on until you get to hear it from another person or you experience it yourself. So, you know, take advantage of the people that you have with you in this time being and get to know the people that you need to get to know in order to succeed.
Yeah, we didn't even touch up on leadership because this individual over here, let me tell you, we could talk for days. But other than that, y'all, that concludes episode numero 3, and I wish you guys all the best. We'll be seeing you next week with a special guest. And of course, Brother Matthew, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day, y'all.
Bye.